What's up everybody, this is Talkative Carl back again for another chaotic lore video. This month we'll be talking about one of the main characters of Chaotic, KidChaor. Real name, Kazdan Kalinkas. Fun fact about this character, originally him and Tom were supposed to be enemies at the creation of the show, but was later changed to be his best friend. His stats reads age 15 through 18, and his first appearance was episode 1, Welcome to Chaotic. Kaz is one of the main characters of Chaotic. He's best friends with Tom, Sarah, and Peyton. He has spiky fiery orange hair, red tinted glasses, and brown eyes. Kaz wears a green shirt with a yellow waistcoat and cargo pants. He's a scrawny kid, and his scanner is red, representing the colors of the Underworld tribe. Kaz lives with his mom and is unknown if she's a single parent. Kaz attended the same high school as Tom. Despite his intelligence and passion, he wasn't very popular in school. Kaz received codes to enter the real world of Chaotic a long while before Tom did, and often tells stories to everyone about his adventures in Param. But Tom and the fellow students didn't believe him until the day Tom got his passcode. Personality-wise, Kaz is the best friend to Tom. He can be an obsessive Chaotic player, however driven by becoming a better player and improving his deck. Kaz is a fiercely loyal friend to a fault, like the time he put his life in danger to save Hearing from the Marillions. Kaz always plans out his strategies and rarely acts on impulse like his friend Tom. His true fault is his overthinking and overconfidence. He's a huge Underworld fan, and his favorite creature is the leader KidChaor. Kaz is such a fan he gave himself the codename KidChaor. Kaz spent so much time in the Underworld and building a relationship with KidChaor and the majority of the tribe, KidChaor calls him Kazzy as a sign of affection, which he rarely gives. Kaz plays an Underworld deck. His trump card usually consists of KidChaor, Hearing, Chaoticname, Fourth Majar, and Stelgar, to name a few. He usually does include some other tribal creatures into his deck, such as Antidion, Blazer, and Falfor. Some of the music he uses: Canon of Casualty, Song of Ember Nova, Song of Revival, Song of Asperity. His battle gear: Whipcrack, Bow Driver, Phobia Mass, and the Mower. Some locations he uses: Iron Pillar, Underworld City, Kordak Falls, and Fear Valley. Like before, Tom is best friends with Kaz is best friends with Tom, Sarah, Peyton, Hearing, and of course, KidChaor, the leader of the Underworlders. His enemies include Christella and Clay, Lord Von Blut, and some Marillions. During season 1 of Chaotic, Kaz watches Tom play Chaotic online card game with a classmate in school, and after Tom wins, he earned the passcode to enter Chaotic for real. Kaz at this point has already been to Chaotic for some time. With some pestering, Kaz convinces Tom to use his one-time passcode within the 24-hour deadline before it expires. Kaz meets up with Tom in Chaotic to give him a brief rundown of Chaotic and how it operates. When Tom challenges Clay to a Chaotic battle, it was Kaz who gave him tips in order to beat him, including suggesting using Iron Pillar to neutralize all battle gear when he was in a tight pinch. Kaz and Tom was asked by another chaotic player named Reggie to help him find his chaotic self. Reggie explained he battled a chaotic player, Bruiser, to get a scan of Calcio Baldrin. Bruiser was the only one who had it at the time, and was the only lead Kaz and Tom had on Reggie's whereabouts. Tom battled Bruiser for the scan of the location and put up his Maxor scan, but lost. Bruiser still gave him the location out of respect. Kaz felt guilty for Tom losing his favorite card. While on the search for Reggie and Calcio Baldrin, Kaz and Tom was captured by Maxor and Frofto. Believing Reggie betrayed the Overworlders, Maxor and Frofto resent chaotic players. After realizing Reggie didn't betray them, but was instead kidnapped by the Mepedians, they attempted a rescue mission. In the midst of saving Reggie, Kaz was hit with a flash kick, seriously injuring him. Maxor uses Song of Resurgence to heal Kaz as thanks for helping the Overworlders. KidChaor sent Hearing to bring Kaz to meet him in the underworld. He tasked Kaz to battle a Lord Von Bloot player at the Gothos Tower location to survey the area and report back what he finds. That way, once KidChaor answers the summons at the request of Von Bloot, KidChaor won't be caught off guard if it's a trap. But Lord Von Bloot was spying the whole time to set up KidChaor and put him in a false sense of security. KidChaor, however, triple-crossed Von Bloot because he suspected a trap within a trap. Thanks to Kaz, KidChaor prevented an underworld civil war. Kaz helps Bluegon save Ramusa in the Glacier Plains from Prorithion. Thanks to his friends, he was able to reach the summit in time to help Ramusa. After many wins in the Dromes, Kaz was approached by the hotshot popular group called the Chaoticname. Wanting desperately to join the prestigious group, Kaz battles Chaoticname members Ray J, RJ, and the leader Drake, and wins. But Kaz realizes who his real friends are and turns down the Chaoticname. Kaz was instrumental in the capture of an escaped Stelgar, and the only one who manages to scan the creature. Later on, Kaz was with Tom and Hearing to obtain a brand new battle gear called the Phobia Mask, but Clay and Cristela stole it and left them potentially to die in Caliban's forge. They battled them in a 2v2 match and won. However, Clay and Cristela went back on their deal. They agreed to give back the battle gear skin, not caring about getting challenges by players because they can still get official drone matches. They even admitted they like being unpopular. But upon returning to the underworld, they were hypnotized by the underworlder Opto and made to work as miners by night in his caves and housekeepers for Hearing by day. Kaz and his friends saved the two of them from a cave-in, and to make things square, they gave Kaz and Tom the Phobia Mask, albeit begrudgingly. Kaz and Tom both won 6 matches in the Imthor Drome. Tom challenges Kaz to a match to decide who gets first shot at battling Codemaster Imthor. By the end of the match, Kaz accuses Tom of cheating. Codemaster Imthor bans Tom from battles until an investigation is made. Tom runs to Perum declaring that Kaz and him are enemies. But this was a ruse set up by the Codemasters, Kaz and Tom, to infiltrate a gang of rogue chaotic players who were hiding in Perum, scanning rare locations and destroying them. During Season 2, the Marillion invasion, arriving in the underworld for a possible rare scan of a giant creature, later turning out to be Omar's new battle gear called Gigantrooper. Kaz accidentally runs into a short creature named Hammerdoom. Because of an offhand remark about his stature, Hammerdoom challenges Kaz to a Colosseum fight. Not backing down out of fear of being banned from the underworld, he continued. Thanks to his friends, Kaz uses the Gigantrooper to battle Hammerdoom, but Hammerdoom uses music to disable the battle gear and uses his Paralyze on Kaz. However, the gauntlets Kaz used to control the robot reflected back on Hammerdoom. KidChaor quickly announced Kaz the winner, ensuring he's not seen showing weakness or favoritism, and at the same time ensuring the safety of Kaz. After scanning the Fear Valley location, Kaz ran into KidChaor and 4 specially trained underworlders armed with one-of-a-kind battle gear. They were training/planning an assault on Kiru City to rob their battle gear called the Telebracers. This put a minor rift between Kaz and Tom because of their loyalties for the opposing tribal leaders. During a trip to the Kovac Mounds near Skeleton Springs, Kaz and Tom was called by an elderly Peyton to help him find Sarah, as he was turned old and she was turned to a child by the Mount's various tunnels that alters time. Kaz was affected by one of these tunnels himself and was made elderly as well. Upon going through the Kovac Mound, Kaz and his friends traveled through one tunnel that took them into prehistoric Param to find little Sarah. After trying to search for her lost scanner in one tunnel that aged him, he sees a massive flood enveloping the world of Param. During a scan quest in the underworld, Kaz and Sarah go to Ice Pillar to scan something unique the underworlders might have found. Turns out to be a frozen creature named Falfor from the Marillion tribe of the past. Falfor was taken to speak with KidChaor. Kaz and Sarah manages to scan him. After telling Tom and Peyton what they found, Kaz takes Peyton to KidChaor's castle. Falfor explains the tribes lived in harmony until the other 4 tribes grew jealous and rose up against the Marillions. He claims the Marillions possessed the salted out Kafka. So the Marillions ran behind the doors of the deep mines, and it was sealed shut by the 4 tribes. As KidChaor puts it, they never knew why no tribe was never allowed to enter the deep mines, but it was the only thing tribes ever agreed on. Falfor's story, of course, was a lie, but it didn't matter either way because KidChaor wasn't buying what Falfor was selling. Falfor's true colors revealed themselves as he started mind controlling some underworld creatures and made his escape. Kaz and his friends went to the deep mines and saw 4 creatures, one from each tribe, guarding the doors. Only they hold the keys to unlocking the doors, but they all have to agree to open the doors for it to work. Falfor eventually made it to the deep mines, and despite KidChaor's efforts, Falfor made the guards unleash the Marillions. One day, Hearing took Kaz where the Marillion called Million was to get a scan of him, but Hearing got mind control in the process. This causes Kaz to track down Hearing to save his friend. While tracking him, Kaz finds out that Million is using local creatures to build a dam to flood the underworld. On his second rescue attempt of Hearing, Kaz found him and other creatures building a massive trench. Kaz wound up brainwashed, but was later saved by Tom using a battle gear called the Mindbender. During the climactic battle between all 4 tribes against the Marillions, Kaz was requested by Nadrin to help find proof that Tartarek is a sleeper agent for the Marillions. Kaz battles a chaotic player named Tartareker, who only uses Tartarek, and battles him in Kiru City so Kaz can investigate Tartarek's room. Kaz found the proof and relays the message to Nadrin, who outs Tartarek in front of all the allied forces. This prevents an ambush by the Marillions. When a psychic wave brainwashes many allied forces, including Sarah, Tom, and Peyton, Kaz uses the psychic sphere grenade to disable the mind control. Kaz and his friends were present at the defeat of the Marillions. After the defeat of the Marillions, all creatures of Param unite in celebration by holding a race called the Perithion. Kaz was dragged into participating in the race by Peyton driving the Komogo because he wants to be part of Param history, and because the original driver, Yuato, fell ill. Because of a music, Kaz and Peyton switched places with other drivers and inadvertently won the race. When Tom beat Codemaster Hotek, he won Dranicus Threshold, which turned out to be a doorway to past Param during the founding of Kiru's city. To everyone's shock, especially Kaz and Tom, the founder Kiru was not only the ancestor to KidChaor, but an overworlder. After Kaz and his friends trips to the past Param, they've acquired rare ancient scans which Kaz uses to win rematches against players who ever beat him before. However, despite Tom's warnings, Kaz was getting too cocky and little by little letting slip about past Param, until his rematch with Sam Shady, who followed the four friends to past Param and let it spill about past Param to all chaotic players watching. This ordeal upset Sarah, Tom, and Peyton, who didn't want other players overrunning the past and ruining history. Kaz tags along with Tom, Kiru, and other past Param overworlders to capture Valar so he could lead them through Gigantotropolis to steal the Oriclan for the underworld ruler Khal in order to save enslaved overworlders. Kaz refuses to trust Valar because he's a dishonorable thief despite being Maxor's ancestor. But after Valar went out of his way to save Kiru and the others, Kaz and Tom realize what a true hero Valar is and where Maxor gets it from. Kaz was present with his friends, chaotic players, and many creatures to honor the fallen Tenggith Tollborn. And that is the story of Kaz. If you have any requests for any particular chaotic player, creature, battle gear, music, location, or attack, please leave a comment below. Please follow me on my various channels. Talkative Carl on YouTube, Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter. And of course, check out my Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/talkativecarl. If you have any special requests for other certain reviews that you want me to check out, such as comics, TV shows, or movies, or a distinct particular topic that you want discussed. And I will see you next time.